What if the thing everyone called your biggest weakness became your greatest strength? What if your family gave up on you, your wife left you, the whole world called you crazy, and then, one day, you became the richest person on the planet? This is not a movie. This is the real story of Larry Ellison, the man who built Oracle, the man who changed how the world stores data. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because this story will change how you see yourself. Let us begin. Chicago, South Side. A small house, 2 rooms. A 12-year-old boy is sitting at the dinner table. His name is Larry. He is eating dinner with his mom and dad. Everything is normal, but then, without any warning, his parents say something that stops his heart. They say, "Larry, we are not your real parents. We are your uncle and aunt." And then they go back to eating dinner, just like that. Larry cannot speak. He cannot move. He feels like the ground has disappeared from under his feet. He feels like he does not belong anywhere, like he has no home, like he has no identity. That dinner changed Larry forever. Larry's family had one dream for him. They wanted him to become a doctor. His teachers wanted the same thing. His girlfriend wanted the same thing. So Larry tried. He worked hard. He got into medical school. But every single day, something felt wrong. It felt like someone else was living his life, not him. Finally, at the age of 21, Larry made a decision. He said, "I am going to focus on myself, even if people call me selfish." He left college. He packed 1 pair of jeans, 1 leather jacket, 1 guitar, and he left Chicago. He was going to California. Larry reached Berkeley, California. Berkeley at that time was a very interesting place. People were protesting, people were singing, people were fighting for change. Larry joined them. He played protest songs on his guitar. He explored the mountains nearby. He fell in love with nature. He joined the Sierra Club. In spring and summer, he worked as a river guide. He taught rock climbing. He loved these things. But there was one problem. They did not pay well. So 2 days a week, Larry went back to the city, and he did computer programming. He was not crazy about programming, but he liked it, like solving a puzzle, like playing chess. So Larry was many things at one time: a protester, an environmentalist, a river guide, a rock climber, a part-time programmer. He did not know which one would change his life. In 1966, Larry met a woman named Ada. She worked at an employment agency. When Ada saw Larry, she fell in love very quickly. Larry was charming, he was fun, he was different. They got married very fast. They lived in a small 1-room apartment. Ada worked all day. She came home and cooked. She cleaned the house. She did everything. But Larry was not serious about money. Ada wanted Larry to work full-time as a programmer because that paid well. But Larry did not want to do that. Money became a problem. They fought more and more. They went to a marriage counselor. But even there, in one heated moment, Larry said something strange. He said, "If you stay with me now, one day I will be a millionaire. You will have everything you want." The room went silent. Ada had never heard Larry talk like this before. But like many things Larry said, those words disappeared. Nothing changed. One day Larry told Ada he wanted to buy a sailboat. Ada said, "That is the most stupid idea I have ever heard in my life." And in 1974, Ada left Larry. She gave him a divorce. She said he had no ambition. Larry was alone. His family was already angry because he left medical school. Now his wife had left too. But this time, Larry did something different. Instead of changing himself for others, he bought the sailboat. Larry asked himself one question: how can I become a millionaire in Berkeley? The answer was not in Berkeley. The answer was a few hours away. A small area between Stanford and San Jose. A place where new technology companies were starting. Today we call it Silicon Valley. Larry went there. His first job was at a company called Ampex. They were building very fast computers. Larry liked the work. It was new. It was challenging. But after some time, he got bored. He moved to his next job, then another. 3 companies, 3 new challenges. But every time something was missing. The people, the environment, the feeling. So Larry made a decision. If no perfect job exists, I will create one myself. He called his 2 friends, Bob Miner and Ed Oates. 3 friends, 1 small room, 1 crazy idea. In 1977, the 3 friends started a small company. They wrote the name on a piece of paper. SDL, Software Development Laboratories. Their total investment was $2,000. Most of the money came from Larry. They had no big plan. They just did contract work for other companies. They did not even have their own office. They used a small corner of another building. Then one day, Larry read a paper. A scientist named Edgar Codd had an idea. He called it a relational database. Before this, getting data from a computer was very slow and very hard. You needed a programmer. It took weeks. But this new idea said, you can ask your data a question and get the answer in minutes. No coding needed. Larry loved this idea. Many experts had read about it. Even IBM was working on it in their labs. But all the experts said one thing. This idea is good in theory, but it cannot work in practice. It is too slow. It is impossible. This was the opinion of the whole world, but Larry did not care about the world's opinion. Larry said, I think it can work. I will build the world's first relational database. Experts called him crazy. They called him stupid. But Larry remembered something. He had learned that when experts call you crazy, it could mean one of 2 things. Either you are truly crazy, or you are about to change the world. He named the project Oracle, and he got to work. Oracle changed everything. Before Oracle, if a company wanted to find data, they needed a programmer. It could take weeks. With Oracle, you could ask your own data a question and get the answer in minutes. The CIA loved it. The U.S. Air Force loved it. The FDA loved it. By 1982, Oracle had 24 employees, 75 customers, and $2.5 million in revenue. Then in 1983, something big happened. At that time, databases only worked on one type of computer. Oracle rewrote their entire database. They made it work on all computers, mainframes, mini-computers, personal computers, all of them. The result? Revenue doubled in 1 year, then doubled again, then again, then again. Every single year, double. On March 12, 1986, Oracle went to the stock market. Their revenue was $55 million. On the very first day, Larry's share was worth $93 million. The small dream of 3 friends in 1 room had become a reality. But then, gravity did its job. Larry had become very aggressive. His goal was simple: win at any cost. Number 1, always. The sales team started selling products that had not even been built yet. Nobody stopped them, because the numbers looked good. But then in 1988, Oracle launched a new version of their product. It was full of bugs. Customers had problems, many went to competitors, and the promises made by the sales team, those promises were never fulfilled. In 1990, for the first time in company history, Oracle reported a loss. The stock price fell from $28 to $5. 80% of the company value gone. 400 employees lost their jobs. Investors filed cases against Oracle. Larry, who yesterday thought he was always right, now had to stand in public. This was not just a business mistake. Larry looked at himself honestly. He said, "The problem is me. I am a sprinter. I run fast, then I stop, then I run again. That is not always good for a company." So he found someone who was strong where he was weak, a consultant named Ray Lane. Ray brought discipline, structure, process. things Larry was not good at. Larry kept his strengths, his vision, his aggression, his big ideas, but now he added discipline. The result? In the next 8 years, Oracle revenue went from less than $1 billion to $8 billion. Larry 1.0 thought he was always right. Larry 2.0 looked at himself honestly, found his weakness, fixed it, and that made all the difference. Larry never stopped. In 2004, he bought PeopleSoft for $10.3 billion. A competitor bought and removed from the market. In 2009, he bought Sun Microsystems for $7.4 billion. Now Oracle had Java. Now Oracle was not just a database company, it was a full technology company. Hardware plus software. Then the world changed again. Cloud computing arrived. Amazon, Microsoft. They were years ahead. Everyone said Oracle was too late, but Larry did not panic. He focused on one thing: data. Heavy data, enterprise data, secure data. He built some of the biggest data centers in America. He spent billions of dollars. While the world was excited about AI models, Larry was quietly building the infrastructure. Because he knew one thing: AI does not just need smart models. AI needs data. And nobody knew data better than Oracle. In September 2025, Oracle announced a $3 billion deal with OpenAI. On that one day, Oracle stock went up 40%, the biggest single-day jump since 1992. Larry's personal wealth increased by $90 billion in one single day, a Bloomberg record, the biggest single-day wealth jump in human history. And for a short time that day, Larry Ellison became the richest person in the world, even richer than Elon Musk. Why? Because for 40 years, while others called his work boring, while others said databases are not exciting, Larry kept going. He focused on one thing, and that one thing changed the world. 5 lessons from Larry's life. Lesson 1. Start small. 3 people, 1 room, $2,000. No big dream at the start, just one good idea. Small beginnings can create big things. Lesson 2. Life is not fair. At 12 years old, Larry found out his parents were not his real parents. His wife left him. His family was angry. But he did not wait for life to be fair. He focused on what he could control: himself. Lesson 3. Find the right people. Bob and Ed were not just employees. They were long-term partners, people who could run the full race with him. Find people who can go the distance with you. Lesson 4. Face the sharks. Larry was never afraid of big competition. IBM, Microsoft, Amazon. He fought them all and won many. Do not be afraid of the big players. Lesson 5. Never stop. When Oracle almost died in 1990, Larry did not give up. He looked at himself honestly. He upgraded himself and came back stronger than ever. The final message: Larry Ellison had no arms. Wait, that was a different story. Larry Ellison had no real parents, no clear path, no perfect plan. He failed many times. His own company almost died, but he never stopped. He never stopped focusing on himself, on his strengths, on his vision. And today, the thing everyone called boring, data, is the most powerful thing in the AI world. And Larry owns more of it than almost anyone. The lesson is simple: pick your path, stay on it, upgrade yourself when needed, and never, ever give up.